Well, as you can see, we have some new Hunkydory. These are little books, Bon Voyage, Floral Melodies, and Peacock, and we've got some fun projects. In fact, let me give you just a hint. Look at that. You can see the floral and the melody with the violin, and we've got so much more to share with you, so please come play with us. Well, before we get into Heidi's projects, let me just show you. Now, each of these is a little over 4 inches and almost 6 inches. So let's call it 4 by 6, okay? And there are 120 sheets. So these are a nice thick pad. And you're going to get 20 different designs. You're going to get 6 of each one. You'll find out why in just a minute. So I'm just going to slide those over. We're going to get started with Bon Voyage. And that, of course, is travel, going to different places. And you can see that VW bus is going somewhere. See you at the lake. And Heidi's done several things with this. So let me just show you first what she's using. And by the way, after I do the project, then I'll show you the other pages that are in that collection. So you've got all the information. So she's going to start with this one. But she also wanted to put it in a scene. So she elected to take our At the Lake papers. So she used the pattern papers. And you can see, in fact, let's get in close to right here. There you go. And you can see that there are some scenes. And so we've got there, we've got there, there, there. So she took one of those and used that for the front of her card. You can see it, you can see the mountains, you can see just a little bit. But she also matted that, and she used the At the Lake solids, which is going to have lots of greens and browns and kind of earthy colors. She used that to cover her card. So her card is 5 by 6.5. So the process would be to first take the green, this is a medium green, put glue or adhesive on your card, place the solid color, and then turn it over and trim around the edge. That's just the easiest way. We call that covering a card. Then trim down the patterned At the Lake so that it is smaller than the size of the card. That way you're going to see that green border. Then we're going to get into the little book of, so there we go. There's that piece. She used it just as it is, but she elected to mat it on the shiny gold. And this is the Hunkydory Mary Gold. You can see that. And this is a bespoke collection just for us from Hunkydory, which is great. So you can see it's super shiny, super lovely. So she used that as a mat. But before she attached it, do you see what's going on in the back here? Well, that is an embossing folder. And the embossing folder is a favorite one of our people, meaning you also. This is a wood texture. Now, this is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. So again, it's kind of like the papers. It's like 4 by 6 almost. And she simply put that through with the gold Mary, and that is the look that she got. So rather than doing a pattern paper to give that vertical against her horizontal card, she used the embossing folder. And I think that's a great look. You can see that behind this image, and I think it just looks really, really nice. Okay, so then she has this. That's what it looks like at that point. So what else is she going to do? Well, she needs a greeting. That would be good. And she chose See You at the Lake. Now, this is out of the chipboard that comes with the, it's part of the At the Lake collection. You buy them separately, but you can see At the Lake, See You at the Lake is one. You can see the trees, the deer, fox, all kinds of things, even a boat. And the simplest way to get that beautiful gold color, and you want that gold color so that it reinforces the other golds that were used. Okay, and she simply used our new gold ink pad. All you do is tap it on there. That's all you do. Super, super easy. Then you just glue this. It's one piece. Just glue that on top of your project, and that will work nicely. So those two are taken care of for you. Now, she also wanted to add a little bit more. So she went to At the Lake. Isn't it nice that all these things match? Yes, it was designed that way. So she did 2 things. She used the border. You can see it right there. She trimmed it in half and foam taped it right over the little book image. And then she took this little bear and foam taped it on top. And it just is really nice. Oh, it's time for a bonfire. That is also out of the At the Lake die cut, so you can see it right there. So it's time for a bonfire, and that border as well as the little bear. So all of that is working. She did add one more thing, and that is the jewel dazzles. Now let me show you. They're at the tip of the bear right here, and a larger one on the corner. So we've got all of those bits of gold just shining at us on a card that you may not think would need the shine, but I think it just really does a good job of helping it. Now for the inside of her card, by the way, this card is the 10 fold. Hunkydory calls them 7x5, and that's the orientation. And that fold is right here over on the left, so that works very nicely. Okay, so it just gives us a little more generous size. Now, inside the card, she used the same artwork that she used on the front. So here is a solid that's covering. You can see that's a very soft gold. Then this is the patterned 12x12. By the way, there are complete instructions down below. Just click on the card. All the cards have it. And Heidi has written instructions for you, so that works nicely. Here is another piece of that embossed Miri with the wood texture embossing folder. And then here is another of the little book. Now, you can see that this is going to need to be trimmed a bit, so that's super easy to do. And she did mat it on a darker green that's out of the solid At the Lake. And then same gold treatment on the Fox chipboard. The Sit a Spell is out of the die cuts, and that's foam taped on this side, glued on this side, because this whole piece gets foam taped on top, okay? And then more of those gold jewel dazzles are added in the corners. So you have just a really interesting, fun card for someone who wants to get away. Now, let me show you what else is in that. The other, see, that would be 18 pieces. And I'm just going to go through them pretty quickly, just so that you can see. What I also like is you're going to get vertical and horizontal of the images. And that's helpful. So just let you do so many things. Come on. There we go. I guess well, there's one of the horizontal, vertical. Isn't that pretty? So whether someone is traveling somewhere or thinking about it, that's a fun thing to do. I guess Volkswagens were very popular. And that's all of them. So very, very nice. So that was At the Lake. We also have At the Shore, just so you know. Okay, now we're going to slide on over to the Peacock collection. And so again, another little book of, and we have a different way of applying that gold finish, and I'll show you that in a minute. I think it's really fun and very neat. And this card is our regular 5 by 6.5 inches. So that's going to work quite nicely. Now this is the piece that Heidi selected for her card front. And let me just hold this up just so that you can see. You see how it is layered? But it's all layered with this same image. So that's why having those 6 pieces is going to work quite nicely. Now she did use the oval cutting dies. Let's see, here they are. And she only used the ones with the smooth edge, not the scalloped. So you just kind of pick each one out, and then you want to position it over the image. So in this case, that image it's sort of in the center, but it's kind of going more toward this way. So here is the center one right here. Then the next one, the next one, the next one, and then the outside one. Okay, so you're going to do that on all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they're going to get foam taped in place. And when you're foam taping it, you're just matching the art. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything more difficult than that. And this is called a pyramid, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that I'm not pronouncing it the French way, but go with me on it, will you? So it's kind of a pyramid type or pyramid type of layout. Now, same thing as with the last one. Heidi needed some place that would hold this. So she looked at our collection that's called Songbirds. So for Songbirds, these are the papers, and you can see they have this wonderful background that is kind of a modeled background, and you can see how well that plays on this card. Now, once again, she wanted to mat it, and she did at this time leave her white card showing. So she selected her pattern, and I think this first one, matted it on the Songbird solid 12 by 12, and glued it into her card. So that's the first step. Now, to get that gold, let me show you what that is all about. In fact, I'm going to show you actually on the peacock, because she did do some of the process on the peacock. So you will need a glue stick, which is actually my favorite adhesive. And all you do, let's see, I'll do a little bit over here. So I'm just going to do that little bit of the edge. Simply put it on, get your gold foil. Now, this is not the heat set because we don't sell that. This is just the cold foil, so it's not put on with heat. Find the end of it, which seems to be a little bit harder than I thought. Okay, come on. Let's see. There are, I think, 16 feet in here. Now, normally I might trim off a piece, but for this purpose, I'm just going to lay it down. I'm going to burnish it, that means press down, with my finger. It's really not hard at all. And then when I lift it, the foil will be attached to the paper. Look at that. Just laborious, absolutely. You can't imagine how much trouble that was, but it isn't any trouble. So that's what you do. So wherever you want that gold highlight, simply take your glue stick and then lay your foil. And your foil is simply going to transfer. So you can see that there you go. Yeah, you can see it. There's no foil there. Now, if you decided, oh, you know what, I want it more solid than that, you can go back, do your glue more, and you can increase the amount of foiling just that way. Same process. So you can go over it if you want to, and just lift. So easy, just wonderful. Okay, so that's one way that you can use this foiling, and all 16 feet of it. And I'm going to slide that back in. So you can tell that she did it both horizontally and vertically, just kind of randomly around her peacock. Now, the hello down there is also from the Songbirds, but it happens to be from the die cuts. And right in there, she simply foam taped it on top. She did use the blue ribbon set, as you can tell. And here's the whole set. And of course, Heidi loves Hunkydory's bow maker. And if you want a perfect bow every single time, this is your deal. And I did do a little video. It's on the product page. So if you want to look at that, just click on that item and that will work for you. Okay, so that takes care of our card front. On the inside, she used a different image, and it's this one. And I thought she did something clever because this would take up the whole inside. Now, you could mat this and then do maybe your greeting down here, but she elected instead to let this peacock peek out from the bottom of the card. She matted it on the solid cardstock that I showed you a minute ago, the Songbirds, and let it kind of go up. Now, notice it's not matted at the bottom. It's just matted on the three sides. You see those flashes of gold? Well, you know how to do that now. So you simply do your glue stick and the adhesive. The glue stick is the recommended adhesive for this process to get these random bits. There are other things you can use, and actually at the end of this month I'll do a whole webisode on ways that you can use that foiling. You are unforgettable. Isn't that a nice message? Well, that comes also from the same die cut collection, the Songbirds die cut collection. So that's right there. It's foam tape. It's already matted for you, and another little bow out of the blue ribbon, and that takes care of that. So you want to see the other peacocks? Let me show you. We're going to go right through these. Okay, again, vertical, cute, and horizontal. And just lots of different peacocks. I thought it was fun to have that little illustrated one. And yes, I am licking my thumb to get these, to get it to you. Very masculine. I think he's really fun. And just very pretty. We've got a couple of them. And there's a little one, be cute for a child. Here's another. And that is, looks like the one that was on the front, but in a horizontal. And there you go. So there's another 20 out of the 120 set. Okay, now we're going to go into the floral medley. And the last two projects are out of this set. Now the first one is this card. And it's a little hard to see the melody, but let me show you the sheet that she used. There it is. So you've got the musical staff, and it looks like torn papers behind it. So what Heidi did is she took one sheet, and that became her base. But she did mat it, so she chose, you know, it is so handy to have these sets of solid cardstock. This is out of the Botanical Library. Now the solid is the only piece that she used, but it gave her the colors that she wanted. And you can see there are several pinks in there. So she did take this, matted it on the pink, and simply glued that to her card front. So we'll take that as the first step. Then she took another layer of this and tore it out. And the layer that she did is the white layer. So actually just tear along that tear artwork, and you can foam tape that in place. Then she elected to add some vellum over the top. Now this vellum is the dotted vellum, and let me just turn it over so we've got, you can see all of those. And she tore a strip that would go the whole length of the paper. Okay, now if you want to, you can tear it a little bit longer than the piece of art and then tuck the ends underneath. That's fine, whatever you like to do with that. Okay, so there. Now again, we don't have a greeting because of the way the little books are created. So what she did is she used one of the die cuts. This is A Happy Note for You. This is also out of the you know what? I should be out of Botanical Library, but I'm almost thinking that it's out of the die cuts. So I'm so sorry not to have that at the top of my tip of my tongue for you. It will be in the instructions down below. So sorry. Okay, give me a pass on that, will you? Okay, so anyway, that A Happy Note for You. It almost feels to me like this could be out of the Songbirds. So you can check that out. Now the little flowers. These are these flowers. These are the ivory pearl. They have a pearl in the center, and you do need to attach these, so you can use any of the adhesives. So one up here and two down there. A little bow. This is out of the 1/8 inch ribbons, so you can see there's just a whole ton of colors, and that's been made with the bow maker, as you would imagine. Now to give it a little bit of shine, she has used a couple of things. So number one, this is the silver border dazzles. There are 31 strips there. I know that might be hard to see, but you just simply pull it off. She's placed them just on the vertical sides. And then she also added This is the silver pearl jewel dazzle. So you can see the difference between the sparkly ones and the pearl. And the pearl ones, she has just attached on that vellum strip and on the die cut. So just like so. So that's the front of her card. The inside, she has used the microphone. There you go. And she used it almost full size. She did mat it on the light blue out of the Botanical Library, and then put kind of this soft purple behind it, and that's been glued to the card. More of the dazzles, top and bottom. And on this piece, when she matted it, she did wrap it with that 1/8 inch ribbon, and then tied a bow and knotted that in place. Another little torn piece of the vellum that she used on the card front. This is your day is right there, and another little flower is glued in place. So these were the two floral pieces that she used. Let me show you the others. Again, same thing. They're going to go vertically and horizontally. So we have a boom box, we have the headset, piano, jukebox, which I absolutely love, clarinet. I'm not going to be able to get all of these. Piano. There is an old-timey record, harp. Okay. Pretty colors. It's nice to have the flowers mixed with the music. Isn't that pretty? There you go, another and another. Even an accordion and drums. How fun. And record player. Okay. Now, our last card is the one that I showed you in the beginning. And this is all, whoops. Okay, come on, Fuzzy. Let's get focused. Okay, now we're in focus. Now, in this card, well, number one, it's a circular card. So you can see that. The hinge is at the top, and that's the inside. And what Heidi used, of course, are the circle cutting dies. And you can see that she used several layers. To begin with, you want to take the straight edge, the even edge circle, and place that over your card. Now be sure to extend it a little bit so that you will not be cutting all of it and end up with two pieces. You want to have a card when you're done with it. So just extend that over, go ahead and run it through your die cutting machine. You're going through two layers, so you may want to run it through twice. And that takes care of the first step. Then the second step is to create these layers. And I thought it was really fun that she used the suede, because with the suede, not only do you get different shades, which these are the two that we have, which is really nice, but she also used that Mary cardstock. Now we used that in the first card, but she also used it here. So purple and gold is just a very royal collection. And you can see that her first layer out of the darker purple, and that is called violet suede, makes perfect sense. And this is larger than the card itself. You can see it sticking out, and that's a scallop. Then this one is the same size as the card, so you're just going to be using that same one again. And this is called mauve. We also say lavender in the title. And so that's going to be. And then she also did the gold Mary, and that's the next layer down. And then this layer comes into play, and you're going to be using that on this particular piece of art. And you can see that you're just going to make sure that you're cutting it inside the design. And I thought it was really fun. So that's the layer. So all of those are going to get attached together and attached to the card front, okay? But notice that this piece extends over that circle. So what she did is she cut out, remember you've got 6 sheets, so you've got 5 more. So she trimmed out around the violin and foam taped that in place. Now you can do that with multiple layers, or you can do it with just the second layer, your choice. Heidi did, it looks like she did 3 layers. So your choice, as I said. Now she also cut out this set of flowers a couple of times, this one, and then a little bit for that one. So you've got lots of choices in that artwork. You kind of divide it in your head as to how you want to show it. Okay, now we're going to go into the purple ribbon set, and you see she did a purple gingham little bow there, zotted that in place. Now, peace and love, and I'm not sure if you can see that. I can see it perfectly well in person, but it gets a little bit entangled in the artwork. So peace and love is part of our Petite Dazzle set. And I pulled the backing off just so that you could really more easily see it. There are a ton of pieces of art in this pack, or in this sheet, and there are 4 sheets. 4 sheets? Yes, 4 sheets in the pack. So that's going to be black, white, gold, and silver. Obviously, she used the black, although she could have used the gold too. That might have been nice. Peace, love, that's what it looks like there. She placed them separately. So that's our card front. Then on the inside, she now cut another circle out of the gold. So the same piece, same die she used to do her card, but then trim off this part so she's got a straight edge so she can glue that inside her card. Now this is the mauve. She has cut another one, so we're getting smaller again, and glued that in place. And then she had another of the violins, and she just trimmed that out. And I like how it kind of goes over the gold. And then knotted a little ribbon, gingham ribbon, and zotted it in place. Be Yourself with the 2 birds and the butterfly, that's out of the Petite Dazzles. In fact, you can see them right there. So there's some birds, and Be Yourself is right there, Be Yourself. So those were placed, and that is our last card. And it is only using that one particular piece of art. So you can see out of the 3 of these, we did Bon Voyage, we did the peacocks, we did the floral melody. All of those are actually, they're on our website, and they're going to be here in about 2 weeks. So what we've done is we say that you can order them, and we will notify you. So leave your email address, and we will notify you when they're in stock. If you want to buy any individual ones, if you want the money saver, just go ahead and do the money saver. It's going to be about 2 weeks before they arrive here, and then we will immediately get them right to your doorstep. So I just wanted to tell you about that. There is a money saver, as always. It's on the right-hand side of the screen. I reminded you that there are instructions down below so you can see all the things that Heidi has used. And if you are watching us on YouTube, if you would do a couple of things, we would so appreciate it. If you would like us, if you would subscribe. Subscribing is a big deal on YouTube, and we would appreciate if you would do that. Then head on over to paperwishes.com, check out the products, check out the instructions, and check out that money saver, because we don't want you left out either. Okay, I want to thank Heidi. She's done, as always, a wonderful job. And I like how she's incorporating other things with them, because this is a great beginning point, but it's not the end point. So she's done a great job of sharing her creativity with us. So I want to thank her. And most of all, I want to thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.